I'm Abby, and I started at BYU in 2017, and I did 2 years there as a Spanish major, and I transferred to UVU, and I'm doing automotive now at UVU. I think it was like a really good option as far like monetarily. I don't think there was an in-state school that could beat that price, especially for the quality education. BYU's not like a average school name. People know it. And I think the social pressure too. Like a lot of my friends were going. My parents were really just like, do whatever you want to do. But I was like, okay, it's cheap. It's, well known and stuff. So that's why I went. It's kind of traumatic, Not gonna lie. I had a lot of really supportive friends, which was nice. I mean, they were still very LDS culture, like, you know, I love you, but what you're doing is wrong kind of thing. But they were still like really caring and they didn't, push me away. I don't know though, it was pretty lonely. I didn't really know any other queer students for a while. There was a reconciling faith and sexuality group, and I did that one. And honestly, I don't know how I would have survived without it. Like, honestly, there was just like this constant fear all the time, Like, okay, like, is this professor chill? Like, are they gonna say something that's gonna like wreck me emotionally? And like, I mean, I know they won't actually hurt me, but having someone like tell you to your face, like, oh, your love is morally wrong before God and the universe, that's like a little bit, it's a big deal. But yeah, I don't know, just trying to decide which of my roommates and which of my teachers or classmates would be like, oh, you're gay, I can't talk to you anymore, or I'm gonna sit over there now. Someone said there's nothing gayer than shared trauma, and I was like, huh, that's not like an entirely correct or inaccurate statement, but I agree with that in some ways. Like, having a relationship when you're gay is a lot more stressful, like socially too. But yeah, it's not easy. I think I already was struggling with depression and anxiety, but that definitely heightened it. Definitely made it harder for me to reach out to people because I was like, I don't know, are you gonna report me? Are you not gonna report me? Are you just gonna shoot me down? Like, what's gonna happen next? So the reconciling faith and sexuality group was so interesting because I mean, I went in there, like tiptoes, like not really sure what to expect because I was like, it's not conversion therapy, but is it, And then it wasn't, and everyone was just like, oh yeah, I have a boyfriend now and it's great, or I have a girlfriend and it's awesome, And I was like, oh, okay, we can talk about this. Like, no one's gonna report me here. Like, so that honestly was a game changer. I think a big part of it was the majors. Like, I tried a couple majors and I actually wasn't really feeling it. And then every day I would go to campus and be like stressed out and be like, wow, that person looks churchy. They'll probably reject me, so I'm gonna be antisocial. Like, that was kind of the mood for a while. It's been a lot better. I think part of that also has to do with moving to a place that isn't like BYU student housing because the rules aren't as like, rigid. I can have my girlfriend over and not like stress the hell out of everything. And there's also like a lot of pressure to stay too. Like transferring, it's like, oh, why are you leaving God's university? Like, did you sin? I don't know. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm changing schools, It's like there's some kind of weird pressure around it. I think one thing I realized after I left was like, I don't know, while I was there, it was so overwhelming, kind of like the whole world is just like against you and pressure, and like your housing depends on it, your school depends on it. Like, you could lose so much if you get kicked out. I was drowning, but it was just shallow water and all I had to do was stand up, and then I stood up and I was like, oh, everything's fine. So I grew up Mormon, and I went mostly because like it was cheap, all my Mormon friends were going, and it was like, why not? Honestly, if I hadn't gone, I don't know if I would have ever changed my faith, because really immersing yourself in that environment is like, okay, wait, what do you actually think about this? And let's actually look at it. And I don't know. I thought I was pretty devout for a while, but I consider myself agnostic at this point. When I transferred, I felt like I got a little bit of flack from people who were like queer that I had met that were like, why are you leaving? Like, you should like stay and help make change. And I felt really bad about that for a while, but I think there's a healthy balance there. Like, support the movement, yeah, like I'm all for that, but also like take care of yourself too. So that was an experience. I think one thing that I like felt like was a truth I learned while I was there is that whether or not God is real and thinks the gay is bad or the flying spaghetti monster is real, just whatever the truth is, it's not more important than your life. And I think that's something I didn't grow up with. It was like, yeah, martyrdom. like, and it's like, no, I think your life is more valuable than the truth about reality, and I don't think you should compromise for it. So, I don't know. I guess that also goes to advice. Like, if there's anyone ever in that situation, like, your life is worth more than all of it. So, probably deciding where to put your emotional energy. Like, I spent most of it with my family and friends, I think. Like, trying to sort out our differences. If someone on the bus is randomly being homophobic, you kind of have to decide, am I gonna, stand up for it right now, or am I gonna, like, kind of just take it easy? And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to that, even though, we're always taught to, like, stand up for what's right. It's like, okay, you don't have to exert yourself everywhere, so.